Hi everyone, welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Here we are in our beautiful Renault truck with a beautiful, absolutely stunning, look at this, a pirate ship paint job. Love this. I put this on because I realised that the previous one we still had on was the Christmas one, which shows you how long it's been since I've driven a bit of Euro Truck. We've done American truck, but a bit of a while since Euro Truck. So, what have we got to do today? Well, for the next couple of weeks we have a special delivery going on for the truck racing championship. So we are going to deliver some special trailers to hopefully get some rewards with the special event. Let's just switch the lights off for a second. It's quite a nice day. It's coming up to 7 in the evening, but it's not too bad. Just going to head around to get the truck, the trailer now. We're here in Linköping. He's going to let me go, is he? No, he's going to wait for the cops. He's going to let me go. Good man. Better put my side lights on, I guess. It's going to take me a little while just to get back into the swing of things. Let's come up to the lights here. Ah, it's nice to be back in Euro Truck. And what obviously I will be giving an update on what's going on the channel and in my life, which is probably people are saying, no, I don't really care, Taff, to be honest. Just produce some videos. But, you know, some people are interested, and what goes on in my life does obviously impact how I am able to do the videos you want and want to view. So, yeah, that's the kind of channel update coming along as well. So these are the, oh, got the truck in the way. Let's get out of the way. There we are. It's a Goodyear Chrome special trailers. You know, similar to the Christmas ones, where we had all the presents on the back. Now I was going to have a Michelin style truck being a Renault, and also you can see the Michelin tyres I have on, but I thought that was a bit too weird having Michelin branded pulling a Goodyear truck, so we didn't go with that. Let's just drop the wheel down though. Nice, and we'll back up and hook up to this trailer. We'll have a second go at that. I'd say it's been a while since I've done some trucking, so my parking as well as my whoa, the gear sticks just come off the desk. That could be an interesting problem. Clunk, we're in. Okay, trailer hitched up, let's pull it forward. I've also now re-secured the gear stick. Oh, that looks gorgeous. So where are we heading today, I hear you cry? Taff, where are we headed today? We are headed to Bremen. Yeah, it should be a bit of a 15-hour trip, apparently. Probably have a couple of ferries on the way as well, so that'll probably be not so bad. So yeah, we've got plenty of time to chat and go through what's going on, which is just as well, because it's been a while. And I've got quite a bit to say. Let our tanker go past. Come on. Come on. Right, before that truck comes. Oh, he's coming quite quick, but let's try and swing out in front of him. There we go, nice. Right, we're out. We'll get back in line behind the red lights and start our day. Yeah, so here we are, back in Euro Truck with a channel update, and we can start off talking about the channel. Oh, come on, don't stall. Or should we? We'll go through what's going on in my life, and that will lead on into what's going on for the channels, etc. And I'll also speak about things. I'm going to obviously pose a question to you guys on what you think's best, because I'm thinking about doing some changes again. You know me, I always like to do some changes, and it's basically countering what I've done in the past, and because I'm not sure if it's fully justified what I did in the past. So anyway, we'll come to that when we do. So what about me? Well, I'm still alive. I'm still trucking. I've got a bit of a bad back actually, so if people always say, "Oh, you don't seem to be enjoying it at the moment, Taff. You seem to be quite down and a bit, you know." I'll tell you why. I slipped and fell down the stairs and I've jarred my back, so I'm in a little bit of. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just a little bit sore. You know, it's Anyone who's had problems with sciatica in the past, I had sciatica, which is basically you get some inflammation around the sciatic nerve in your back, which sends shooting pains down your leg and up your back. It's horrible. I've done that because I did a lot of rugby when I was younger, and that's caused a little bit of issues there. But that's, you know, it's perfectly livable. I don't have it super bad like some people. It's just mild hits every so often. Yeah, I can trigger it by jarring myself or by sitting badly or something like that. This one, completely accident. I slipped and fell down the stairs, coming down a little bit too quick. I think that was the problem. Obviously, my pride was hurt more than anything else, but my back is a little bit sore. So sitting down and recording, yeah, it's not, it's not hurting. It's just a little bit of discomfort. Okay, we've got some aircraft on the old plinths up there. Nice, little Saab aircraft probably. Being in Sweden. So yeah, so that kind of covers off if people think I'm being a little bit grumpy recently. Sorry, it's just a bit of discomfort from the old back, but it's getting better. So hopefully in a little while it should be fine. I can still walk and move and do all that kind of thing. It's just a little bit fine. It's just a bit sore, but yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. So the big thing going on in the life at the moment, it has to be the house. Now, I've talked about this in the past. It's been going on for 6 months now because of access issues. So the property we're looking to buy is a shared driveway. Well, it's a shared track. It's a farm track, which the farmer uses to access fields. And the first, 30 meters of it is shared by the house as a drive. And obviously, there was a gentleman's agreement for the past 30 odd years that the household can use that as their driveway, which has never been a problem in the past. But the landowner, whoops, I was looking down. The landowner sold all their land about 2 years ago to a new farmer. So the new farmer, understandably, believes that and it rightfully is his. With no legal right of access along that track, he's quite happy to say, no, mine, I don't care. Now, the property was sold to us. Well, it hasn't been sold to us. It was on offer or on the market as all rights and access in place. And it was only when my solicitor did the searches did she find that no, in fact, it's only a gentleman's agreement. There's nothing actually written into the deed of the property. So the last 6 months have been, well, not 6 months, the last 4 months have been the seller and the landowner coming to an agreement to get the rights of access permanently written into the deed of the property. And that's what's been dragging the heels for so long. It got to the point where I said, look, you've got to the end of May, then I'm walking away because I'm had enough of this now. And lo and behold, the seller then went to the landowner and said, look, we'll pay for your legal costs if we can just get this agreed. And lo and behold, the landowner's solicitor, who had been very much aloof at this point and very much difficult to contact, was interested again and said, yeah, there's not a problem at all. It's just, obviously the landowner, you can fully understand from the landowner's point of view, he doesn't want to pay legal fees on something he doesn't consider an issue. So I can fully understand his point of view totally. Anyway, that has been sorted now. That has been agreed. The paperwork has been signed. There is now a right of way to the property over that, and they can't take that away from us now. So that's all good and groovy. So that's secured, which means we can now proceed with the sale, the purchase of the property. Because of the delays, I also managed to negotiate some more money off. And they said they accepted it as a goodwill gesture, which is cool. Unfortunately, that meant that I had to amend the mortgage offer, how much I'm borrowing from the bank, and that's proved to be a bit more challenging. It's simple enough, we're borrowing less, so there's no problems. We don't have to go for any of the security checks or anything like that. The problem is it's a huge amount of administration for the bank, and if anyone knows banks and administration, they are not the best at it. So this should have been done last Thursday. I spoke to my mortgage advisor, and she made the amendments last Thursday, and it should take 24 hours to go online. Didn't see it go online over the weekend, so I was a bit annoyed, so I rang him up on Monday. My mortgage advisor is now on holiday, so I spoke to a colleague, and he says there was an error in one of the fields, so he corrected that and applied for it, or reissued it on the Monday afternoon. And I'm currently recording this Wednesday morning, and it hasn't gone through. It's gone through because I chased them up yesterday, and they confirmed it's all there. It's fine. It's just sitting in the automated system now to go online. Ooh, lights came on. So it's just a faff. It's like, come on, guys, sort it out, push it through. Come on, there must be a way of escalating and pushing something through. I've been waiting almost a week for this now. Come on. Anyway, as soon as that's gone through, obviously it appears online, and it's one of those things that the solicitors can access it through the online portal these days. It's not kind of paperwork anymore, which is good. So there'll be, as soon as it's there, she'll be able to get that sorted. So we really are at the end of the road now, hopefully. Oh my goodness me, it's been a long and trying road. I put my house for sale and in July 2017, and it's now coming up to June 2018. So the whole process of selling my old house and trying to get into the new house has taken almost a year, and I feel absolutely drained from it. I really do. It's one of those things that, I tell you what, if you've been dealing with solicitors a long time, God, it's draining. It really is. It's always, you're always thinking about it in the back of your mind, and you never really relax. But anyway, we're coming to the end, hopefully. The end of the light at the end of the tunnel is in sight, so that is good news. And if all goes well, and the mortgage company, just put it online, we can get the contract. The contracts I should be receiving today, hopefully, or I should be sending them out today, so I should get them tomorrow. So we get those read through and signed by the end of the week and returned, and that means we can probably exchange within the next 2 weeks, or week, really, but probably 2 weeks. Beginning of June is when I'm looking, which means obviously a bit of a potential disruption should the channel, because I'll be moving house again, and I need to actually sort the new house doesn't have a telephone line, so I need to get that sorted and get some internet in there, as well as getting the electrics done and the plumbing done, and it's a full house renovation, this one. So you know, my channel may become a DIY blogging channel for a bit. No, don't worry, I'll still keep the usual content coming, but you never know, I may do something on that, because I'll be doing a lot of it, put it that way. That being said, fingers crossed it should all be cool and groovy, and I'm looking forward to doing the challenges and doing all the work, getting our home just right. The good news is I did a broadband test of what I should be able to get at the new house with a new telephone line. It's fibre to cabinet in the area, and then obviously copper cable from the cabinet to the house, but they're talking about 25 meg down and about 2.5 meg up, which is not brilliant. It's not brilliant, but it's better than what I got now. So we could even potentially do some proper live streaming, because I have done a bit of live streaming, but that's been done via a 4G dongle, which isn't the best. It kind of works, but it isn't the best, and it costs 30 quid a month, and yeah, once the year's up on that, I'm not going to renew it. It's not really worth the money, if I'm honest. But if I can get a decent-ish connection, we should be able to do some live streaming as well, which would be great. So that's all good and groovy. That is on the positive. So in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, that'll all be sorted. Deep breath. Right, next week, we've got a bit of a disruption, because it's half term here in the UK, or in this part of the UK. So obviously my partner being a teacher, and I obviously having the little one as well, which means it's the only time we can really have holiday. So I've taken the week off, and we're going back to Wales. Yeah, we're going up to North Wales. I'm going up Sunday. It's a bank holiday weekend in the UK, which means we have the Monday is a public holiday, which is nice. So everyone has a 3-day weekend. Well, not everyone. Some people work it, but depending on what kind of job they have. But most people who work 9 to 5, you know, clerical type administration or normal type jobs have the day off on Monday. So I've taken advantage and taken the other few days off after that to have a full week. Now we're going up to North Wales, as I said. Going to stay with my sister for a couple of nights, which should be good. See how she is, and then we got a B&B in Bedford, which is a beautiful park in the Snowdonia Park. It's absolutely stunning. It's just full of B&Bs basically. That's all it is these days. Stunning little village, but it's just B&Bs. Yeah, we've booked in to have some Welsh tapas as well. Oh, it's just Olif. There's a little place called Olif's in Bedford, and it does Welsh tapas, and it's amazing. Looking forward to that. So that's my next week. I'm going to have the holiday next week, just before we do all the house stuff, which is probably good timing as well. Not good timing when the fact is we'll probably be exchanging and swapping keys and stuff like that. Not swapping keys as in put them in a bowl type thing. It's not that kind of deal, but you know, yeah, we hopefully will be able to exchange the contracts and get in the house as well. So that's good. We will be back on Saturday, the 6th or 7th of June, whatever it is, 5th of June. No, it's less than that. It's like the 1st or 2nd of June. Anyway, not this Saturday. Saturday after, we'll be back. On Sunday, we're going hot air ballooning. Randomly. It's one of those things that we got our Christmas present from Virgin Balloons. As in Virgin, you know, Richard Branson's Virgin. We're going hot air ballooning. Yeah, we got a trip up, so hopefully that will all be good and groovy, and we'll go hot air ballooning. That should be interesting. Never done that before. That was a Christmas present, so looking forward to enjoying that. So it's an active week or so, and then obviously in the weeks preceding or following, it will be hopefully quite exciting as well. Work-wise, busy as ever. Oh, it's a nightmare. But you know, the good news is my contract has changed. Yes, I am no longer office-based. No, my boss spoke to me last week. He goes, I'm probably pushing against an open door here, but he wants to put me as permanently home-based. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Which means, you know, the company will give me 250 quid to deck out my office, which should be nice, which will probably go on the house, the new house. The girlfriend will spend it on something. And yeah, it does actually say, because I'm working from home, the company will pay for my internet. But it does say you get a reasonable personal allowance on it. I'm thinking, uploading videos, gigs at a time, I'm probably gonna, yeah, I just better get it. Normal broadband, I'd get a discount on anyway. I get staff discount, which is pretty good. You end up paying something like, I don't know, £10 a month for, you know, fibre, which is pretty good. And we'll see how it works out and see what they're prepared to do. But options there for me for sure. So that's pretty much where I am. I'm going off here. Am I? Yeah, I am. Yeah. That's pretty much where I am life-wise. Everything else is good and groovy. Yeah. So I've got holiday, house. That's pretty much it, and work. Yeah. So there is potential for disruption there, but I'm gonna still get videos out, but they may not necessarily be what you'd expect on particular days. You know, it could be just a kind of a hodgepodge of whatever I can get out. It may be videos which, you know, I haven't done in a while, but they're quite quick and easy to get out to give you some entertainment, and yeah, and that's that. So getting back to the channel, leading on, I should say, we can talk about the series. So on Mondays we do simulatory type stuff. I realised that I'm doing a trucking game on, and this may not necessarily come out on Monday. I haven't decided when this is going to come out. But we've been looking at things like PC building simulator, and we just started a new one, Home Flipper, which is basically a house renovation, which is very apt at the moment, game, which is quite enjoyable. So PC building simulator, it's not obviously super popular, but it's got a reasonable following, and it's one of those games which is nice, quick and easy, and it's very relaxing. It's not stressful to do, and I'm quite enjoying it. It may get monotonous pretty quick, so I may need to do some gaming offline to get us onto the later stages of the game to see something different, like installing OSs and that kind of thing. So we may do that going forward. Also started to have another look at Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We did the Corvette up recently, which was good fun, and we've got that little Toyota, I think it is, which we may have a look at going forward. I think I stripped it down, we just need to rebuild it, so yeah, that's something we'll probably have a few more episodes coming on as well. I think, not as a series, but every so often, a nice little run of 2 or 3 videos of something like Car Mechanic Simulator. It's just, you know, a little bit, it's refreshing, isn't it? It's something different, it's reasonably harmless, it's quite an easy watch, you don't really have to think about it, so you can have it running in the background while you're doing, I don't know, your homework or whatever. And it's quite nice and relaxed. So we'll do every so often a spidge and spodge of those. That should be okay. Let's get out before that truck. Okay. Malmo! Welcome to Malmo, everyone. What was I saying? Oh yes, so that's and PC Building Simulator, as I said, we may skip ahead and do some later stages of that game. Now, House Flipper. House Flipper is an interesting one. It was very kindly donated by Patrick. As I said in the video at the time, it's not the first time he's been very generous and supported the channel in this way. So big thanks to Patrick. What I played, I enjoyed. However, they did an update, and unfortunately that's meant that I can't play it at the moment. The devs are aware that the update they've recently released has basically stopped people being able to load the game, and they are working on a fix. So yeah, I can't really bring a second video of that until they resolve the bug which they introduced with the patch. Which, you know, sometimes they do this. They are rolling out patches quite quickly, so you can expect every so often there may be bugs being introduced when they bring out new versions. Unfortunately, it is quite a critical bug, this one, and it's been causing many people a few problems, me included. So as soon as they fix that, I can bring a few more episodes of that. That's quite interesting. I like the thought of being able to buy a wrecked house, doing it up as a renovation project, you know, building extensions, fitting it out, and then selling it for a profit. You know, I think there's enough TV shows in the world, I'm sure in every country, of people doing just... Am I going that way? I am. Of people doing just that to show you that there is an interest for that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll be looking to do some of that as soon as we get more online. So that's good. I'll be looking forward to that. As soon as they fix that problem, we'll get that done. So that's that. Euro Truck and American Trucker, and obviously I'll still continue to do these videos because I think this is the perfect video to do a vlog to. You know, you can just sit here, chill. I can drive, kind of pay attention to what I'm doing, and I can just drive through these, can't I? Yeah, good. We get a bit of trucking done, we get some money earned, we get some driving done, and I can sit and spout off what I'm, you know, running on about, which is good. So continue to do these kind of things. We haven't done any trains for a long time. An aircraft from Flight Sim. We've obviously I've done some Flight Sim. Recently I did the EasyJet from, was it Stansted to Edinburgh, I think it was. And of course the Flight Sim when I did the 75th anniversary of the Downbusters flight recreation, which went down well actually, yeah. And I have talked in the past about doing different style videos, and they were going to be along those kind of lines. I was going to, things like the Downbusters, recreate them with video game footage, you know, and try and almost like a documentary style do it, you know, using video games that we have to illustrate the point. Obviously they won't always be 100% factual, and images may vary, that type of thing, but it's to give a kind of a representation of what we're talking about in the video. So I can do some sort of educationally stuff as well as entertainment, hopefully. Edutainment, I think they call it. Awful name, isn't it? Absolutely awful name. So yeah, that's something we may look at in the future as well. Obviously those types of things take a lot more time, because I'll have to spend some time offline to research, to get my facts, rather than just doing my opinions. I'll do facts on it, and so I'll have to do some research and get that right, and then you have to try and mould and re-record footage to try and fit into what the story you're telling. So that's something that I may look to do in future. Obviously they're going to be more time consuming, so they're not going to be, you know, one out every month, for example. Fuel wise, we're okay. We've still got half a tank, so that's cool. So that's kind of what we've covered on Mondays. I don't think much else goes out on Mondays. Wednesdays tends to be our combat flight simulator. So we are currently looking at Battle of Stalingrad and the Battle of Moscow with the P-40 Korea and the A-20 Havoc bomber. Really enjoyable. Really enjoying getting into that game, actually. Yeah, it's really pleasant, and the replay function, very similar to Rise of Flight, because it's obviously the same studio, I believe, makes it so much more forgiving and a lot more accessible for video creators to use. The old Cliffs of Dover, the replay on that was pretty awful, to be honest. But the recent stuff is much better. So we'll continue with that, because people seem to be enjoying IL-2 Stormovik, Battle of Stalingrad, and Battle of Moscow. We've got the we've got the Kuban one as well, and also there's a new one coming out which should be quite interesting, which I may get in a wee bit. That car's not coming past, I might as well pull out. So that's going well. B-17 is still trudging along in the background. Obviously probably not as frequent as some people would like, but don't worry, we're going to still continue with B-17 Squadron Commander until we get somewhere. And of course we've got Rise of Flight, which I just alluded to. So Rise of Flight we will continue with. I'm gonna, once we come to the end with the career of one of the Battle of Stalingrad series, then we may look to start another career in the Rise of Flight world in World War One. The aircraft I'm probably going to look to do is the Bristol. Yeah, that's quite a nice aircraft. It's kind of heavy fighter, light bomber type aircraft, and it's pretty sweet. I must admit, I did one video on it where we got shot down, but it was a very interesting aircraft, and one I think I will enjoy going forward. So yeah, we may look at that going forward. That kind of covers Wednesday off. I don't think we do much more than that, do we? If I ever get some time and some inclination, then I would love to start looking at DCS as well, DCS World. I've got a lot of expansions for that, some of the aircraft as well, and yeah, it's one of those things that I got into it probably about a year ago now, and we did, myself and Red Kite and a few others, we did quite a little bit of flying on it, and we got to a point where we were almost proficient with the Frogfoot, and playing around with the F-15 as well. Obviously the F-15 was a lighter version aircraft, but we're having a lot of fun. The problem is you don't play it for a while, and all of a sudden you can't remember half the stuff. So yeah, that's something I may hopefully in the future get the inclination to get back into. It takes a lot of time and an effort. Obviously because of current circumstances, my time outside of recording is very limited on the computer. So yeah, when people say what else do you play offline, I don't play that much offline anymore. Only if I can grab a spare half hour here or there, or whatever. Working from home, when it comes to flight sim, I am quite fortunate, because if I got a flight, I can take off before work and then plan it so when I'm coming into land, I can take a break and land it, so I can kind of get round it that way. But when you're gaming, you can't really do that. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm turning into an adult. I have to adult sometimes, which is not always what I want to do. I'd rather just sit there and chill out and play games, but I've got work to do. chores to do. Oh my goodness. Life, eh? Growing up's fun. But no, it's all good. Good and groovy. Coming September, our little girl goes to high school, which is going to be quite scary. Yeah, that sort of pounced on us, and so that means, I think to begin with, we are paying for her to get the bus. So she's going with her mum to the school, obviously where my partner works, because she's a teacher, and there's a bus which picks up from outside that school, primary school, which takes them to the high school. So we're kind of doing that for the time being. So she'll still go in with my partner, but going forward, that is very expensive. So it will probably be that I'm going to be dropping her off at school, which is probably a 35-minute round trip, which is a little bit of a frustration because my recording time is in the morning. They leave the house at 7 AM in the morning. I then have, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours till 9 o'clock when I start work to get some recording done. If I'm doing the school run in that time, I may also lose that. So that's also something that I may need to consider and work into what's happening in the future. So that just occurred to me. That should have been in the earlier update. But moving on. So Thursdays, I don't have a video planned for a Thursday. It's just if I fancy it, I'll put an extra video out on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I have been doing Thursday as a build up to the weekend. That was the car mechanic simulator videos, which I've already touched on. Say they're not a given. They're just when I can. If I've got some time and I've recorded extra video, then I'll put them out. Why not? If I don't, I don't. I don't say I'll get a video out on a Thursday. So that's just the way it is. Fridays are whatever I fancy playing. So recently it's been Hidden and Dangerous 2, and that's been getting a reasonably good reception. Love that game. I so love that game. And we'll probably keep some similar themed like that. I've got some other games like that. Death of Spies, I think, has been recommended to me, and I've got those in my Steam library. We've got numerous little games like that. So Hidden and Dangerous 2, I love. We'll take that to completion, and the completion of Saber Squadron as well. So don't worry. They won't be every week, because sometimes I don't get the chance to play it, and I fancy playing something else. So yeah, it's just how time goes sometimes. But we will continue with that. Also, we had Steel Fury, which is the tank simulator. Now, I need to do some updating on that. The version of mods and stuff that I have on are out of date now, so I need to put the latest ones on, get all the fixes and the extra content, and we'll do some more of that. I will try and do some more of that in the near future, because that is a great game and worthy to show off to some people. Now, I've had a few calls to do... Oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong lane. Thank you, bud. I've had some calls to do naval action. Now, I was very reserved when it comes to naval action, because it hasn't progressed the way I thought it was. You know, it's nice to showcase these games, which you hope are going to be great and awesome in the future, but it's kind of stopped progressing, and it's just what it is. And while what it is okay, there's not a lot of content there, to be honest with you. You kind of have to make it up yourself, and it's just a bit of a grind. And you know, set yourself goals and targets. Now, I've been leveling up both my players in the past on the player versus environment and the PvP servers, obviously for obvious reasons, so we could join up and do some battles or something in the near future if the game progressed at all. The problem is, being a dad effectively, and having to, you know, drop things at the drop of a hat to go and sort things out if you hear your kid cry out or something. It's happened a couple of occasions. I've been called and you think, oh, I've just got to leave it, and you come back, and if you're in the player versus environment, you know, you can guarantee when you come back, you've lost your ship, you've lost everything, because you've been absolutely mauled. Now, I know there'll be people who say, well, you need to put it into port and you'll be safe. If your kid screams out because she's fallen over down the stairs or something, you don't have time. You got to just go. So it's not the kind of game which I can effectively grind as a parent. It sounds weird, doesn't it? I could do it if I did it late at night or something, you know, when she's in bed, and I know I'm not going to get called. But to be honest, I have other things that need to be done. So on the player versus player environment side, yes, I've continued to grind that out, but I'm kind of hard in two minds. I don't want to be showcasing something which isn't going anywhere, and you know, it might be tempting people to buy a game which ultimately they may feel shortchanged. So I don't know. I'm umming and ahhing about that. I did notice in the recent patch a month or so ago that they have now put in tutorials. So that's something, because new players it was always difficult to get new players in and to understand exactly what's going on. So that is a little bit of progress, if nothing else. But yeah, it's I don't know. I may do some videos, because it's still a beautiful game and it's still fun in stages, but it's kind of just ship battles and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I may bring some to you. I don't know. I'll have a think about it. I've only... Oh, what we got there? Oh, the truck's been pulled over as I kind of squeeze this car out into the outside lane. That's fine. So yeah, they brought in the latest version of Euro Truck. They brought in the random events, which we saw in American Truck Simulator, which is awesome. I think that is a great feature for these games. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Loving it. Well done. Well done, SES. I think that's a great addition. These trucks are slow up this hill, but we are quicker, so we'll blast by them. So yep, that's kind of naval actions, kind of quandary around it. What should I do? What shouldn't I do? I don't know. I'll think about it. Friday is also a time when I can roll out things like Euro Truck or one of the simulator games, and yeah, that's just how it is. I may start to have another look at Cold Waters. Do you remember the kind of the Cold War submarine game? We haven't done that in months, and it might be good to go and have a look and see how that's doing. See if that's had any updates and progress. It was good fun. I wasn't very good at it, but it was good fun. And if I fancy being told to give up, you rubbish at it, then I may do some more videos on it. You know, it's always good fun. It's just like, yeah, love that. So yeah, there's plenty which could potentially come out on a Friday, and they're kind of like the big ones that have been running recently. So we may well do some of those. I've just realised for 4:28 in the morning, it's incredibly bright, isn't it? So obviously it's murky and rainy, but it's nice and bright. 3 hours 31 minutes to go. And then obviously brings us on to Saturdays. Saturdays is Silent Hunter days, submarine days, and Silent Hunter 5 is going well, still going strong. People are still enjoying it. It's become a bit of a cult channel classic now, isn't it? I can't really drop it. Although, on saying that, I got no reason at this stage to drop it. The Walls of Steel mod has been running reliably, touch wood. I figured out why I was having some of those issues with my save games, and it was a simple case of, I think it was the way I was doing the save name. I was putting spaces in there rather than doing underscores, and that was corrupting. Now, since then, I've always done, you know, an underscore if I'm going to leave a gap between words, or not leave a gap, but you know, I want a space almost between words. And so far, it has been pretty solid when it comes to loading the old save games. So I think it was an issue on my side, which was causing the instability on the save games. So hopefully, that corruption issue is over. I'm sure we'll have one or two in the future, but the majority of them seem to be good and stable, which is all grand, which is good news, which will allow me to have less hassles when doing videos for that, which is all good. So yeah, no reason to stop that. I'm really enjoying that at the moment. We're getting to areas which I've never been on the game before. Obviously we're doing attacking down the African coast at the moment, which is quite exciting. Just switch that off. And then obviously I got a lot of calls in the next theatre to go over to do Operation Drumbeat, which was along the American coast. And I think that's probably going to be the most popular, so that's what we'll do. And then I can't remember what's after that. I've never been this far in the game. Well, this is the furthest I've ever been in the game anyway. The first time I played it was when I recorded it for the episode 1 way back about 1.5 years ago. So yeah, it's all new for me as well. So I'm enjoying it. I'm glad to see that many of you still are. Obviously, when we come to a natural end of that, we'll probably take a break and do something else. We might look at Sun Hunter 3 or Sun Hunter 4 or something like that. I know they will feel a little bit old and clunky compared to Sun Hunter 5, especially on a visual point of view, but we may be fun to have a look back and see how they go. I must admit, it's been a long time since I played Sun Hunter 3, and I've probably got about an hour of experience on Sun Hunter 4. I just could not gel with that game. But, you know, if we give it a concerted effort when we need to, then it may be that we can get into it and have some fun in the Pacific, which should be interesting. Different theatre of war, different enemy, so to speak. So yeah, it'd be interesting. So we got that to oh come on, get some speed up here. We got those in the future, but don't worry, that's probably not anytime soon. We can always do more, you know, start another career in Sun Hunter 5, because by then we'll be nice and refreshed. So don't worry, we could still be doing lots of submarining. I do like submarining. It gives you that kind of, you're never safe, you're always vulnerable, and you've got a crew to manage, you've got a, you know, situation to manage. It's always good fun. Playing a bit of cat and mouse with destroyers, grand. Now I do want to get some more not management, I suppose management, sort of strategy games. I may bring some strategy games in the future. Some of the things I would like to bring to the channel are maybe some of the Total War games, because I haven't played those in an age, and I used to love them. Now, I first started with Total War Medieval, the first one. Played that forever and a day. That was amazing. Then I didn't play one until Medieval 2 came out. So I played Medieval 2, loved that. Turn if you're turning. Although I haven't played it for a while. And then went back to Rome 3. No, Rome 2, sorry, beg your pardon. Rome 2. Or was it? Hang on. No, it was just Rome. I'm getting confused. Let me start again. So I started with Medieval 1. The next one I played was Medieval 2. Then I went back to Total War Rome. Which was good fun. And then, where did I go after that? Probably, was it Empire Total War? I hated Empire Total War, didn't play it. Then went back to Medieval 2. Finally decided, well, I might as well have a go back at Empire, and sat down and learnt the systems, because it was different to what I was used to. And I absolutely love Empire Total War. Absolutely love it. I think it's a brilliant game. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. Very underestimated, because I think it was so different at the time. I've then since got Rome 2, which I've barely played. I've got Shogun 2, which I've barely played. I've literally installed it, and when they're on their Steam sales, and never really got round to it. I've got Napoleon. I've got, what else have I got? I think that's about it. Is it? I think that's it. I haven't got the new Britannia one. Obviously, I got the DLCs, which were with the original Medieval 2, which were the I think it was Britannia 1, and you also got the European bits with that as well, didn't you? Yeah. So what I might do some Total War. I'm thinking either starting with Medieval 2 or Total War Empire, which is kind of like 1600s, 1700s. So you get sailing ships, because you get naval combat in those as well, which is quite good with sailing ships. You get the old musket lines of troops, cannons. It's good fun. And we try and settle, America. Well, 13 colonies is still there. We try and get rid of the the opposition in the Americas, and then obviously you got India to try and conquer, as well as you got the trade lanes to look after as well. So that is a really good game. I really enjoyed that. So we may look to bring some Total War to this channel soon, which is the long and short of that long drawn out explanation. So that's good. I know people have talked reasonably positively about that in time. One of the other things we may then do is look at Rome 2 and Shogun 2, because they're games I haven't really played, and it'd be nice to go through them, and I'll learn them and you can watch me improve. I know that will irritate the hell out of people. When you play a game on YouTube or on anything like this and you've not played it before, you can see it on people who do it on Twitch for the first time, and you get people in the channel and they think people should instantly be experts at the game, and and they find it very frustrating when people make key mistakes, and it's like, well, it's just the way it goes, bud. It's just the way it goes. If you want to watch somebody who's proficient and knows all the tricks and trades and can easily walk the battles and stuff and the management, then go and watch them. I find it much more interesting when especially when a new game comes out, especially with this Britannia which has just come out. It's interesting to watch experienced strategy game players playing it, because they're still not 100% with mechanics, they're still not 100% down with how everything works, and they make mistakes, and I think that's far more interesting, and you learn from the mistakes, and you build strategies on how you like to build your armies up and those kind of things based on your mistakes but also your successes. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. So we may do that, and we can learn about the troops in Shogun and Rome 2 as we go, as well as the other factions, which is all part and parcel of the adventure. I always find the learning experience. These games are not just rinse and repeat. You're learning all the time, which is what really engages you, I find, to my mind anyway. I don't know why I just switched that on. I'm going to switch my lights off. Yeah, we're going off here too, bud. Oh, he's all over the road. Look at him. As soon as I figure out how to switch my wipers off, there we go. There we go. Let's put running lights on. Okay, it's fumbling buttons for a moment. So that's kind of what I'm thinking I might introduce shortly. I'm not quite sure exactly how, because those kind of Total War games are long and drawn out, as they are. They are strategy games. There's no quick cinematic type pretty bit you can record, but options there. Now I've realised I've talked for so long. Bloody hell, we're almost there. The one thing I was thinking about talking about, which I made point to in the beginning of the video, is about something I've done in the past, which I may want to redact. Now that is the second channel. Now I'm wondering, we're doing the second channel, or we have been doing for some time now, and it's been doing reasonably well. It's got like 500 subscribers and people are enjoying it. We've done some good series on the Long Dark, Firewatch, This Is the Police, that kind of thing. And I'm thinking, would it be better to amalgamate the two channels again? What I'm worried about is I'm spreading myself too thin, trying to get two channels done. And I'm thinking, I like both types of content. I like adventure games and kind of those kind of things we've been doing. And also I like the simulation stuff, which we're also doing on this channel. Now, previously I'd always done it on the same channel. I'd always get people moaned at saying, well, I don't want this, when's the next simulation type thing or whatever. But I'm thinking, I've got quite a reliable format now of Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays on here. So I'm thinking the videos I would do for the second channel, the Taff's Exile Extra, I might do them and publish them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I do the content anyway. Well, I do more than that. I publish 4 times a week on good weeks, so there's a lot more content. So I'm thinking if I merge those two, I'll still keep the different intros, so you know it's a different video to the normal one. So Taff and Exile, the green sort of livery intro, and then you have the Exile Extra, which is the blue intro. I'll still keep those different. So you have the blue intro videos on Tuesday and Thursdays. Yeah, let's go for a nice easy one. And that's what I'm thinking of doing. I may put a poll up in the corner if you want, and let me know your opinions. Do I merge the channels and do that and have the Taff's Exile Extra videos on a Tuesday and Thursday, or do I leave it and try and oh, the gear sticks come off again, and do I try and oh, going the wrong way as well. It's all going wrong. It's all going wrong in the end. And you had to drive in, for heaven's sake. There, nice, we're in. Yeah, so I'll put a poll up. Please, you can have your say, and I'll let that help me in my decision on what we're going to do going forward. Now, it's always nice to try and include everyone with the decisions I want to make. I think that may be good. It'll, you know, keep people at the channel rather than sending them elsewhere, and it'll be a different mix as well. And it may encourage others to come who may not necessarily enjoy the content which they see on this channel, if that makes sense. So anyway, excellent. Racing components have been delivered from Linköping to Bremen. Distance driven is 611 miles. Talked all the way. Your ears are probably bleeding at this stage. Base reward is 29,846 euro and 984 XP. Proficiency level 33 is 14,476. And long distance delivery bonus rank 6 is 5,849 euros plus 246 XP. Parking bonus of 15 XP gives a total of 50,171 euro and 1,245 XP. Tipped us over to level 34 Elite. Woohoo! We get a skill point. We can put it in just in time or eco driving. Let's just finish just in time, shall we? Yeah, nice. So there we are. Event progress 1 of 12. We got a long way to go, but yeah, there we go. This is the progress. This is for the European Truck Racing Championship. I think we got to the 17th of June. So there we are. You got a couple of weeks, 3 weeks still to get these deliveries done, which I'll crack on with now and get this done. You get some paint jobs and some bits you can hang in your cab for completing the event, which is all good and groovy. We'll leave it there. Thank you all to my Patreons who continue to support me above and beyond, which is awesome, which is this video will be dedicated towards them. And if you've made it this far and your ears are bleeding through my rambling, thank you ever so much. I'll tip my hat to you. And the code name which you can put in the comments will be... I haven't thought this... Pirate Ship. Yeah, go on, Pirate Ship. Looking at the Pirate Ship there. That'd be completely random. But if you can put Pirate Ship into the comments, into your comment, the better. If you try and secret them in to your comments, so you don't just go Pirate Ship. But either way, I'll know you've made it to the end, and everyone else will know you've made it to the end, and we'll all nod respect to each other as we pass. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time.